Hey guys, this is V. Rigoni Max, high performance real estate entrepreneur. Like we always say, hey, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. What we're going to do here today at this video is our goal is to answer some of the questions that you have, to kind of like elaborate more on some of the issues that you see, things that are that you have concerns about, that you've commented on. And so let's get out there and let's start. Let's start with that first question.
So people, I feel like, have unrealistic expectations of entrepreneurship, and they're most definitely transferring from that 9-to-5 life where you get the Monday to Friday work and then that weekend off. That most likely is not the case in entrepreneurship. How crucial are those weekends in order to get ahead of the competition? Because the weekends are like 100 and something days of the year. So how crucial are those weekends to excel in your business?
Well, that's a great question. Thanks for asking it. And really the bottom line is that it goes a little bit deeper. Even we're going to get to where we answer the part about the weekends, but it goes even a little bit deeper. See, entrepreneurship has become kind of a, high flying lifestyle. It's been kind of like something that's cool. It's got a vibe to it. Everybody's an entrepreneur. You can just, everybody's got an LLC, but who's making any damn money off of it? It's kind of like when I teach a retirement class, and their retirement classes are not financial freedom classes because these people are in their, late 50s and 60s. And so I'll ask them how many people have a pension. And then a lot of people raise their hand, but then ask them how many people have a pension that'll pay for all of your expenses and will grow over time. And most hands go down. Same thing here. All right. Now, when you're looking at becoming an entrepreneur, when you are an entrepreneur, you know that it isn't just the weekends. Yes, it is the weekends. But what I like best about that question is it talks about the competition. You have to compete. In most cases, you're competing with yourself. You're competing to get the goal that you wanted when you wanted to become an entrepreneur. Whatever that is, whatever that business is, you're going to have to put in the time. Now, if your weekends are free, we're talking weekends. Does that mean that you totally, work so much that you end up divorced? I don't know. Maybe. Because if your wife can't handle the fact that you're on the path of becoming rich and moving the family to financial freedom, shit, isn't that a little bit on her? Not to get controversial here, but hey, but weekends are important. Yes, if you sit there and watch college football on Saturdays and during the season, and then you watch, professional football on Sundays during the season, what time do you have? Hell, when I did this in my early 20s, yes, I succumbed to the bullshit. Part of the matrix. I sat there and I watched football in my early 20s, and I'd watch 2 to 3 games a day. By the end of the night, my eyes were killing me. I had a headache, everything else. But everybody said, hey, how'd the game go yesterday? What'd you think of the game? Blah, 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 blah. Who gives a shit? None of those people are making you rich. So yes, you're going to have to get out there. You're going to have to work weekends. Becoming an entrepreneur is not something, for wussies. It's something that you got to put some guts behind. You got to get over the fear. You got to do the work. And I don't care. When I owned rental properties, there were times when I would sit there, and I owned a dozen single family to begin with. That's how I made my first $1 million. My 14-year-old son, who's now the CEO of our company, he'd be there right next to me, cleaning out a basement at 2:00 in the morning because tenants were going to be moving in the next day. Now people might say, oh, what kind of parent are you? I don't know. But when my kid was sitting on a bus on a trip, and this story was recently told to me by one of his teachers that we ran into, because we donate to the school, okay, as alumnus. All right. When this teacher said, one day we're on this trip and your son is sitting there and we're on a bus trip and he's really quiet. And I walk up to see what he's doing. He's reading a book, How to Be a CEO. Well, damn, how about that? Years later, he's the CEO of a multi-million-dollar company. Go figure. But that came from work. See, it's not just your work. It's also include your family if you got a family. If you got 2 sons, I can guarantee you got one that wants to do the work and the other one wants to go do something else. That don't make either one of them better or worse. So go ahead, work on the weekends. Get ahead of everybody else because it's a competition as much against you and the world and you and yourself, to hold yourself accountable, to do the work, what's necessary. And I can tell you when you'll be done. You'll be done doing the work on the weekends when you've scaled your business up enough when you've done the things necessary to do, well, you'll be doing other things, but it may not be cleaning leaves out of a gutter. It may not be cleaning out the basement. It'll be things that'll be paying, they'll have a higher value to them because you'll be at a point where you're going to hire the people to do the things that have a lower value. But in the beginning, if you don't think you're going to get your hands dirty, well, then you go read a book on becoming an entrepreneur motivationally and just use it as edutainment, because that's what most people are doing, is that they're into the edutainment. All right? Hope that answered the question. But yes, you're going to have to put in the work. There's no doubt about it. Is it easy? No. Is it simple? Yes. Is it easy? No. But is the payoff big? Absolutely. Because you will live like no one else gets to live. What's the one next? Give me another one.
All right, cool. So I feel like people get these two mixed up, and it's motivation and discipline. Can you kind of go into why someone should have more discipline rather than motivation? Because motivation is very short-lived. Discipline will get you through everything.
Yeah. Well, you're kind of answering the question. That's okay.
Go into more detail.
Yeah, but that's okay, because that's right. Motivation will get you to the point where the idea sounds good, the direction sounds good. You're trying to think about your dream that you got and how to put it to work. Now, if you need to be able to take action on it. So let's just say you've taken the action, you've started. Are there going to days when you're going to wake up and you're going to feel like shit, like you're just pounding your head against the wall, like you did all this work, all of it. You did everything people are telling you to do, and nothing's happening? Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. But that's where then the discipline comes in. The perseverance comes in. And it says, hey, I don't give a shit what I feel. This is about logic. Motivation is about what you feel. The discipline is where the logic comes in. The perseverance is a combination of both feeling and logic put together. And that's what drives you. That's what keeps you in the saddle. That's what keeps you doing what you need to do in order to succeed. Because it's easy to get motivated. Just like filling up a helium in a balloon. And that you let go of that balloon and it takes off. But as that helium starts to escape, that balloon hits the ground. And don't let that be the motivation. You've got to be there. You got to keep pushing. And if you keep pushing, that's when you'll succeed. Or you might fail some. But if you fail some, then you got to figure out what you did wrong and don't give up. That's discipline too, right? It's not just everybody can be disciplined and everybody can be motivated when everything goes right. You know, it's like a singer. It's like a rapper, like Adam over here. And that is, everybody's a success once everybody hears about you and they know about you and they've said, how did you, that was so great. You succeeded so easily. Really? What about the 10 years of struggle? What about the 10 years of fighting? And then you're a success overnight. All right? Everybody one day is going to say, man, you're like an overnight success. And you're going to sit there and you're going to roll your freaking eyes and say, hey, were you in that basement? Were you cleaning out that basement at 2 o'clock in the morning? Were you doing this, doing that, putting up with other shit that nobody else wants to put up with? But again, if you put up with the shit, you want to fly private, put up with the shit. You want to fly first class, put up with the shit. But apply the discipline, because the discipline will get you through the hard times. They'll get you because it'll take away the feelings, because your feelings will always lie to you. But the discipline will always be there. It is your backbone. It is what you rely on. It is that which will make you succeed. Got one more in there?
Yes, sir. So this one's about failure. People have a negative connotation towards failure, but how has failure helped you personally in your day-to-day life and your businesses?
Oh, sure. I'm good at failing. I fail really good. And I fail often. Not quite as often as I used to anymore. Because as you get older, you start to what? You start to get the wisdom, you start to apply the memory to the activity, so you fail less. You ask more questions. You do your due diligence more, deeper, right? You don't see, a lot of failure comes from assuming, the word assuming, right? And to assume, right? You break it down. What does it say? It's really make an ass out of you and make an ass out of me. Break the word down. You'll see what I'm talking about. And so failure, a lot of times failure comes because even though you're applying principles, even though you're applying, facts, you're not always doing it at the right time, at the right cycle of the market. Or it's like I'm telling people right now, you want to fail? Go buy real estate right now. And everybody's saying, oh, you go buy the real estate now, and then the interest rates will drop, and then you can, and then you can refinance and blah, 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 blah. Well, that may all be true. But if it isn't, now you've put yourself in a position to fail. Just like go buy yourself 50 single-family homes and see what that does to you. It'll make you a freaking maniac. And so, you just don't want to put yourself in a position to fail. Why will 50 single-family homes help you to fail? Because you're going to go in 50 different directions. You got 50 different kinds of faucets. You got all kinds of crazy shit. Today we're looking at a property. All right, this literally happened. All right, we had a meeting earlier this morning. We're looking at a restaurant. It's got an apartment building. The guy said apartment upstairs. The guy said he just remodeled it. Okay, and we were sitting there in an executive meeting, and my son pulls up the pictures of the apartment. And he says, "Look at this. What apartment is this?" I don't know. It looks like just like the kind we remodel, because you do things the right way. They tend to look like some of the things other people do. You don't always have to be unique. You need to apply the principles. You need to do the stuff the right way, and then you will overcome failure. Now, sometimes you will fail. Sometimes things will go wrong. COVID caused a lot of good people to fail. Now, again, one might say, that's the matrix, baby. It was the matrix that brought you the failure. It wasn't the COVID. It was how they made everybody shut their businesses down. And all of what's come out up to this point, right? Everything that they have said has said that they didn't need to shut down the businesses. Hell, the masks don't even work. The epidemiologist out of London, the number one guy came out and said, he did a study. He did a longer term study, and he said the masks don't work. So all the bullshit they made everybody do, all of what it was the matrix telling you that you need to shut your business down. And when you shut your business down, they'd send you a check, but it wasn't enough to keep you in business. And you failed. I get it. But don't let other people affect the rest of your life. They affected that part of your life. Figure it out. Get some new investors. Even if your money's gone, now you know how to run that gym. You know how to do that business. So go find some people now that can back you, even if you're broke. Go find some other money. Do it the right way. Make sure you file the right papers. You make the right agreements. And get back in the saddle again and make it happen. Because if you had the guts to start, because that's the number one thing people don't do, is they don't start. They don't take the action to start. So if you took the action to start and you got hit up the side of the head, I've been hit up the side of the head a number of times. Sometimes it was because of what I did. Sometimes it had nothing to do with me, but it affected me greatly. Oh, does that sound like COVID? So get on with it. Move on. Absorb the failure. Think about what happened. How would you have adjusted? Sometimes there is absolutely nothing you could have done. How can I tell you to learn from COVID when they told you had to shut your business down, or otherwise they were going to fine you? How do you learn from that? There is none. So get on with it. Figure it out. Is life fair? No. Is life equitable? No. And this whole equality thing is absolute bullshit. There is no equal outcome, baby. You want equal outcome? Go to work 40 years for some company, get paid basically whatever your job's worth, and you'll get the equal outcome. But if you want to get rich and you want to move towards wealth and you want to change the legacy of your family for generations, then start doing something different and understand that on the road to success is some failures. Talk to you soon. Let's get out there, guys. Thanks for the question. This is Adam. By the way, Adam's a rapper. He's got his own channel. You want to listen to his shit? Let's throw it out there.
Money Sunset on all platforms. That's Money Sunset.
So let's go check that out. All right, so talk to you soon. And hey, think big, start now, and grow fast. V. Rigoni, Max, high performance entrepreneur. And let's leave some comments. Let's leave some questions, and we'll get on with this, and we'll answer some more as we go along. Talk to you soon.